One thing outside the combine purview, the conversation and Adam Schefter reporting that Amari Cooper there in Dallas may be released before the league year starts. Your thoughts on that and what that accomplishes for the Dallas Cowboys?
Well, I mean, look, when they signed Cooper and Zeke, and knowing that Dak was going to get his money, and then he did, I mean, how many teams can have a quarterback, running back, wide receiver combination count for what, like $70 million on your cap? I mean, no matter how large the cap number keeps going up by whatever margin, I mean, at some point that's just not sustainable. And the fact that Zeke's still around is kind of amazing, because you'd think the running back would be the one with the quickest expiration date. But it was obvious that Amari Cooper was no longer, the number one target in the offense last year, that it was CeeDee Lamb 100%. The fact that Amari Cooper would essentially have to speak up, which he never does, to say, hey, I'm still here, definitely was odd, to say the least. And again, I just saw all those kids last night at the wide receiver position. I mean, why would you? Yeah.
Why would you pay?
Cooper's terrific, and he's still very young. You're talking about a $20 million hit of some sort, or close to it, I'd imagine. I think it was $100 million contract he signed. Again, I don't know what phony money was in it or what he would count for this year. Or how
I think it's $16 million. I think it's $16 million they save.
It's a huge chunk of change.
Yeah.
It's a huge chunk of change. I know that Gallup is hurt, and but that doesn't surprise me. It just doesn't. And then the fact that he was one of their few unvaccinated players still on the team last year, I think, really rankled the Joneses. And it's interesting. Again, the COVID protocols yesterday were shelved. But still, what will linger is somebody at a time when all they had to do was take a shot, and that would give them a better chance to win, and they did not, is something that I think will linger in the mind's eye of front offices and ownership. And I think you put it all together, and that's one of the reasons why Cooper will be on another team. And, obviously there will be some teams that will jump all over him, certainly when you got to start from scratch on his contract. But it didn't really surprise me to hear that today.
We did a most likely with Chris Brockman today, and he prefaced one of these for our friend here, TJ Jefferson. Is it most likely that the Dallas Cowboys play in a Super Bowl, or
Rich, who plays in a Super Bowl first, Cowboys or Amari Cooper?
Oh, that's a good one. How was that? How'd you answer?
Well, of course, TJ was the Dallas Cowboys, but us in the real world said Amari Cooper, because he'll probably end up with the Chiefs or the Rams or the Patriots or something like that.
Yeah, right. Could you imagine him on the Chiefs? I mean, he always
That's what I said.
Best games for the Raiders against the Chiefs. He had, I think, a couple of 200-yard games against them. So I'll take what's more likely, Cooper elsewhere rather than Dallas without him.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.